Hello, everybody. I am Samuel 15, the Dragon Team here today, and today we're doing yet another interview with Johnny Rabus. Rabus, is that correct?
Rabus.
Rabus. And I just asked you before the video. I always do this. Why do I
You
even
did.
ask people?
It's whatever.
I'm so bad at names and remembering people's names. Like I'll probably ask you what your name is again at the end of the video, and I'll try like to be discreet about it, but I'm not discreet at all.
No worries, no
Yeah.
worries.
Yep. But anyway, we have yet another top 8 list, and thank you once again for being here, and thank you for sharing us your list.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
All right, so before we get into it, get into like what matches you played and whatnot, tell us why did you decide to go Night March, other than the fact that Night March is, is
I
Night
mean,
March.
Night March just looked like the best option. I haven't been able to really keep up with the game. I took a new job, so I wasn't really doing too much for the past like 4 months Pokemon wise.
Darn work.
So yeah, yeah, gotta make that money. But I'm just like, okay, I'll just go with Night March and just go to have fun. Just travel fun for me.
Wait, what? Fun
Yeah,
Pokemon?
yeah. Just try to see what happens.
So you basically decided, basically said, you know what, this thing looks fun. This it looks good. Let's play it, right?
Yeah, it was also just like, hey, I don't think I have to know as much to
Ah.
play this deck than I do the others.
Yeah, there is some skill involved, like making sure
There
you,
is.
yeah,
There is.
make
There's a lot of in-game skill involved, but I don't have to know really what my opponent is playing because I actually haven't. I played a Greninja round one. I had no idea what was going on.
so yeah, like you said with what we were saying with your ninja, how did that match go?
Oh, it went awful. I got absolutely annihilated. Uh, turn two, both games, he just put down Frogadier, searched for three more Frogadiers, and I'm like, I didn't even know this was a thing. And then I'm like, and then he evolved into the non-ability Greninja, and I'm like, I had no idea that card even existed. It's actually a really nice card.
It is.
I just haven't actually looked at it. And then he just went to the break and just killed every Pumpkaboo or Joltik that was down. It was very, very depressing.
This is why you try. This is why you're supposed to, like, look see where the top decks before you play in a tournament. Normally, anyway.
Yeah, I saw Greninjas popping up, but I assumed it was the ability in the break just to do a bunch of cool things. And yeah,
Assuming
yeah,
makes an ass out of you and me, or in some
yeah,
cases just.
just me, just me in that case. Yeah, it was very, very bad decision by me.
Yeah. I've heard like a lot of people talk about that matchup. Like I've had some people come on here and say, "Oh, that's a good matchup for Night March. Oh, it's a good matchup for Greninja." To me, it just seems like kind of like I it depends on like how people play the list. That's what it seems to me.
Yeah,
I'm not
he
100%
he
sure who has the
he didn't
advantage yet.
he didn't play Shaman. He played like three Jirachis. It was just gross.
Three Jirachi.
I saw at least two, and I'm pretty sure he discarded another.
Ooh, I've seen
Like the man was prepared.
yeah, I've seen most people play two in that list, but like three. Ooh,
Man was just prepared.
yeah. So, what did you play against in round two?
Round two was a mirror match.
Oh, well, those are fun.
Oh, those are absolutely fun. Got to judge him turn one, and he just didn't draw anything. And
Yeah.
then the next game, I was just able to target down some shamans early, and he wasn't able to keep up.
Yeah, your catches, your target whistles definitely helped in the in that mirror match situation.
Oh, it was beautiful. Oh, those catchers came in handy in that mirror match so nicely.
Yeah, I've seen some people playing Night March just going, you know what? I'm probably gonna run to one or two Night March decks, so let's just tech for the mirror instead.
See, that's the thing. Like, I expected the mirror match to be more prevalent, so I just put in a second target whistle and a second catcher just to try to really shore up that match.
Yeah. At first, like catchers and target whistles were like not staples, but now they are starting to become staples nowadays, which is pretty interesting.
I've actually been playing Target Whistle and Night March since Worlds, and again, it was just for the Night March matchup. And
Wow.
I love Target Whistle. It's such a great card in my eyes,
Yeah.
especially with Shaman running around. I really just want to see it play more.
So yeah, you're 1-1 now. You even even still, but how did it feel getting that round one loss and have you did in your mind were you still thinking, you know what, let's do it. Let's just win the next couple rounds. Let's just go undefeated, just go to the top like that. Were you,
Losing round one is so disheartening.
yeah, it is.
It absolutely is,
Mm,
and I didn't really. I kind of expected my day just to fall flat on its face
yeah.
because I'm like, okay, I haven't played in 4 months, and okay, I wasn't prepared.
Yeah.
That that's just basically how my mindset at that point. I'm like, okay, I won round two, yay.
Yay. But I'm guess did you think you were gonna be able to win out at that point?
uh, there's a lot of things around me. There was a lot of like Vile Plumes, a lot of Girautinas. So I knew it was going to be difficult, but I wasn't. I thought I would go either like 4-3 or 5-2.
Uh, so uh, that's me and my friends joke around when we lose round one. We go, all right, now all I have to do is just win out. Let's do this.
Yeah,
And we of course almost never do, but like we still have that hope, that small chance of just hoping.
yeah. My mindset is always to win,
All right,
as is
that's all it
everyone's.
is. Yep.
But no, in reality, I'm like, okay, I'll probably end up losing a game here, losing a game there, maybe.
Yeah. So what did you play in round three?
Round three was, I believe, a Vileplume Vespiquen.
Nice.
It was really a very interesting match.
It's one of the worst. From what I've been told, it's one of the more bad matchups for Night March. Though it's still winnable, from what I've heard.
It's probably like 55-45 or 60-40 in the Vileplume's favor, of course.
Yeah.
It all comes down to who goes first,
Yup.
which he went first in game one and three.
Ooh.
Um, he went. It all comes down to our setups, what we draw, of course, and it's not a bad match per se, but I would love every other match, almost every other match instead of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, game
So
one, game one, he just gets like Vile Plume, two Vespiquens, and passes, and I'm just like, okay.
did you just scoop there, or did you play it out little?
I played a Sycamore, drew 7 items, and scooped.
Yeah, it's like I'm not winning this game. Let's just go to game two.
So I went to game two, and just what happened? Oh, I ended up decking him game two.
Well, that does happen. Sometimes all you have to do is just survive high up, and they just kill themselves.
Like he got out with the Vile Plume, but he missed the Floatstone,
Ooh.
so I just Lysandered it, and then hexed to get back two more Lysanders, and then just kept Lysandering it. He missed the Floatstone when I hexed again too. So like, okay, cool.
So you just went for the die out option.
Hey, sometimes that's what you gotta do.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. So how did
And
game three go? Because I'm pretty
game
sure game two is pretty long.
game two was not that long.
Oh,
He
okay.
ended up scooping kind of early when he realized he was going to deck out.
Ah, okay. That's the
Uh,
smart decision.
yeah, because he discarded Bunnelby, and
Ooh.
after seeing that, I'm like, okay, I can actually do this. Game three, I I went with he got the turn on Vileplume again. He
Ah.
did his couple of Vespa Queens down. So I'm like, okay, how am I going to win this game?
Hope
So
yep.
I ended up just kept passing and let him attack me first, so he would run out of double colorless first. So I'm like, if you can't attack me, I'm going to win the game.
Yeah.
And that's essentially how the Rota went down. He made a couple of interesting plays. I'm not sure if they were the best ones for him, but because I decked him out game two, he went for an early Bunnelby, so I was able to knock that out. and I could have forced the deck out train again, but I just ended up uh, just knocking some shamans out to win that game.
So
But it
do
was
you
just
want?
basically attacking in the right moments.
Yeah, that's sometimes you just need to realize, all right, to just pick your spots and pick your battles.
Exactly. Just because you're playing an aggressive deck doesn't mean you have to play it aggressively. You can slow it down.
It takes a pretty good player to realize when to slow it down, when not to slow it down. I'm still trying to master that myself.
It's
It's
it took me
difficult.
years to learn. It is a very difficult thing to learn, but it does help a lot.
So 2-1 now. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And what did you play against in round three? No, not
Round
round three, round four.
yeah, round four. Round four was an evil tall.
Hmm. That's an interesting matchup. But like, it, oh, Evolto Zor Gallade, you mean, correct?
Uh I never saw Glade, but I
Okay.
think I no he saw I saw Maxis, so yeah, there's Glade in there somewhere.
Okay. Making sure it's YZG, or that's what they a lot of people call
Yeah,
it, just heard. So
yeah,
that's a iffy matchup. It kind of depends, like if they can keep their EXs off the field, because for the most part, it seems like to me, from what I've seen, it seems kind of like if they can just keep their baby Voltols and the Volta that says, nope, your tools don't. Nope, your tools don't do anything, bro.
yeah.
If
It
they can have that one, the Glade, then it pretty much is in their favor, of what I've seen.
I think it's one of the most 50-50 matchups that this format has because yeah, they don't need their EXs. They only play like 2 or 3 to begin with.
Yeah.
But they have the Baby Voltal that can knock out the Joltix, the Pumpkaboos. The Zoroark is a very, very strong attacker. The Galade's a very strong attacker.
Hmm.
And it's just a non-EX war, and it's whoever can miss the knockout first. Game one, he ended up judging me and then benched me turn two. Game two, I won a long drawn out game off a
Ooh,
target whistle on Shaman. And then game three,
was a tie?
it was not. I was
Oh,
able to
okay.
pull out the win because
Ooh.
I benched him out.
Ah, because
So
okay,
game
so
one was bad, game three was bad, but we had a nice game two.
uh, yeah, usually you want the game three to be the good one, but at the same time, having the game three being the good one is the most it's the
Yeah,
most nerve-wracking one. Having a good game three, it's just so nerve-wracking.
yeah.
Usually they're just going but
It was just nothing. It was it was good. It was
yeah,
good. I was very happy about that.
hey, you didn't tie, so that's great. Because like when you said that was a long drawn-out game, it's like, uh-oh, this is probably
Yeah,
gonna be a tie.
I was like, okay, we've got like I think like 10 minutes at that point. So like we could tie, but we're both kind of fast, so we could probably avoid it too. I'm not sure,
Yeah,
but just kind of see where it goes.
and you did not get any Pokemon, so you won that way, so that's good
Yeah,
for you.
yeah. Just I hate winning like that, but he
Uh,
did it to me too. So turnabout's fair play.
yep, karma's a bitch. It'll get you when you least expect it or want it.
Yes,
So you're 3-1 going into game five. It's round five.
yes.
So what did you play there?
Let's see what did I play there. That one I played. I think it was another Night March.
Oh God.
Yeah, it was. I ended up 2-0ing that one. Just he benched Shamans a lot for no reason, and just
Uh,
didn't really draw anything. So I was like, okay, cool.
so
Just
you didn't seem to know how to play the mirror match that correctly, from what you're telling
yeah,
me.
exactly.
Which is odd in this format. If you're playing Night March, odds are you're playing against another Night March
Yeah,
deck.
you need to learn the mirror.
You need to know how to play Night March regardless of what deck you're playing.
Exactly.
And your deck does seem like I said before, it seems like it's made to beat other Night March decks.
Exactly. That was one of my main points because I'm like, okay, Night March is really good here with Puzzle of Time.
Uh,
Puzzle, such a stupid card, by the way.
so stupid.
I I had to borrow some the day of just to make sure I could actually play it. But yes, I was like, okay, with Puzzle of Time, I can get back the target whistles, I can get back catchers, Lysander, double colorless. It's just mind blowing.
Everything in the kitchen sink, basically.
Yeah, yeah, it's mind blowing how our resource management's just gone.
So, this was a 7 round tournament, correct?
Yes, it was 7 rounds.
Okay, so you're
So
4-1 now, going to
now
round
4-1
6.
now, going into round 6.
I'm guessing it's pretty. I'm guessing you're feeling kind of because you're kind of a little anxious because because I'm pretty sure at this point you're thinking, all right, if I win this one, I'm basically in.
Yeah, I'm
Correct?
like, okay, now I'm like, okay, if I win, I might be able to ID in.
Yeah.
But the evil tall I played against was a 202, so I actually got paired down to that.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, I got paired down. I got my round 1 loss. I think all of my opponents were like 2 and 3 at some point,
Uh,
and I'm like, okay, that's really bad.
that resistance, man. It
Yeah,
it sucks that it's such an important thing when you have no way of controlling your resistance.
yeah. Even the Greninja was 2 and 3. I'm like, okay, this is. It was pretty gross.
So what did you play in round 6?
Round 6, I played another Night March.
Oh God.
This one was played by Christian Ortiz, who won New York States and Maryland States
Oh,
with
so
Night
this
March.
guy.
With Night March.
Ooh.
So that was, yeah.
Were
So,
you a little nervous going up against this guy?
oh no, he's a good friend of mine,
Oh, okay.
and I even told him 2 weeks ago when he top cut New York that I was
Oh.
going to stop him in Virginia.
Really?
So the fact that we were both 4-1 and got paired was absolutely hilarious.
Wow.
It's the best thing that could have happened. And I had so much fun with this because I was just joking around with him the entire time. Because he just when we looked at the online pairings, he just looked at me, and I'm like, "This is going to be great."
It's like, wow, did you predict this was preordained by destiny itself to have this to happen?
Told him I was just had to come out just so I could make sure he doesn't win 3.
So how
And he
did
actually won Virginia last year with Night March too. So
wow.
yeah. um, but
So
I ended up 2-0ing him.
wow.
Like
So walk us through that match.
it was really just flipping heads on catcher. He did not play catcher, and I played catcher, and it really made a big difference being able to kill Shaman so early.
Uh,
It seemed like a lot was going in my favor at especially in that match.
mhm. So you see, so both games pretty much went down to catcher.
Yeah, both games went down to catcher. The second one, I used like 4 catchers because of puzzle time, and I hit heads on like 3 of them.
I wish I had that better. I would be happy if I got 50-50. I usually get like one out of like 4, maybe if I'm
Yeah,
lucky.
it was either 3 out of 4 or 2 out of 3. I can't remember which, but it was really nice to hit.
Which is why I would never play catcher, and if I were to play Night March, I would never play catcher just because I cannot flip heads for if my life counted on it. If there was a card that said if you can well, if it does something amazing, but only if it flips tails, then I would probably play that thing because I flip tails all day. But knowing my luck, it would reverse on me, and then I would start flipping heads. It's like, okay, come on, what the heck?
Uh, Sometimes it breaks like that.
So, and your final round, I'm guessing you ID'd because you looked at the pairings and figured that you would be safe.
There were actually like 2 or 3 5-1-1s that missed.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I didn't know if I should ID or not, but I was facing a Reshiram Giratina,
Yeah, that's not a favorable
so I
matchup,
decided to take the ID
and just
and
risk it.
just see what happens.
Yeah, which turned
Like
out to be the right play because you did manage to make top 8,
I
even with your
squeaked
wind resistance.
I squeaked in as the 8th seed by like I think it was half a percentage. Yeah, it was not by much, but I got in.
Yeah, but it's like, did any of your opponents you play against top 8 as well, or no?
They did not.
Oof.
Yeah, no top eights.
So somehow there's people, the people who were below you had worse
Yes,
resistance than you somehow.
yes. I know one of them also lost their round one,
Okay.
and
Was
it
it to a Poké
was
Dad?
no, it was actually to one of my good friends who ended up 4-3, but he ended up playing Christian in the last round.
Oh.
So Christian won and got 5-2.
What's
So
healthy
I
resistance?
think that's where everything shook out.
I have a feeling that if Christian Ortiz lost that last round, you would not have made it.
I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
I'm guessing you were just like looking over at him the whole entire time, going, "Come on, dude, win, please."
When I actually realized it, because I
Yeah.
was talking to the guy he actually ended up 11th because
Whew.
of the second tiebreak. His name's Joe Grubb, and I was talking to him. He's like, "Yeah, I play," or sorry, Ryan Webb. My bad. But he was like, "Yeah, I played Stefan round one." I'm like, "Okay." And I see Stefan's playing Christian. I'm like, "I need to tell Stefan to lose, but I can't do it."
or just tell Christian to win.
I mean, that's Christian's plan anyway,
Yeah.
because he needed top 16 to get his Worlds invite, which he did end up doing.
Yeah, obviously. Which is why you top eight. So, walk me through your top eight matches.
My top eight match was against Mega Rayquaza,
Interesting
against
match.
Dean Nizam.
Did they was he playing Jolteon in there too, or no?
There was one Jolteon
Okay, guessing for this.
for the Night March
Nope.
match, and he did not play any Night March all day.
Somehow.
And, and I ended up 2-0ing him because it was an absolute. Hi, Patrick. That is my roommate.
Ah,
But it's just such a good matchup for Night March, even with the Jolteon, if they're not playing the Max Elixir, which he
yeah.
wasn't. So I just ended up 2-0ing it. Whenever he benched the Jolteon, I just knocked it out. It, there's really not much to say about that. He knew it was an awful match and that it wasn't going to go well.
Yeah, whenever I see someone like put down a Jolteon or a Jirachi or something along those lines, or that's like really annoying, I just go, "I'm gonna kill you now before you're a problem."
Yeah, I actually don't even think he played Jirachi.
Ooh, that's weird. Well, most of, I think it's like a 50-50 for like when they play it or if they play it or not. But
Yeah, but I really hate to say it, but it was just an easy match. Everything, nothing went wrong.
yeah, you
Everything.
beat yeah you beat the seed one too.
Yeah, beat the seed one. I mean, when you're doing like 400 damage a turn to Rayquazas, it's kind of hard not to.
Yeah,
It's really easy to hit 160 on a Jolteon.
yeah. So, and even if they get a Fighting Fairy belt on them, which I'm pretty sure they don't play in Ray, you
They
can.
don't
It's still fairly easy for you to do so
exactly.
because when you're playing Puzzle of Time, it's a bit easier for Night March players to say, all right, fine, I don't mind getting rid of all but two Night Marchers
Exactly.
because I have Puzzle of Time to get one back.
Exactly. If I really need to, I can just puzzle it back along with a double colorless and just hey, kill you. Cool.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Next.
Yeah. It was gross. Gross how quick that went. I, I actually wasn't even the quickest one done.
What?
Everyone else had finished first. Everyone was waiting on me, and my match took like 10 minutes.
Wow, was everyone else playing Night March too?
There was one other Night March, and it lost to a Trevenant.
Oh, okay, so it just like you was basically go, you went first. I can't do anything. Pat, let's go to game two. I'm going first. I got a knockout. I have all mans. All right, I win. Let's go to game three.
The Night March actually did not even go to game three. He just drew awful both games.
Oh,
The Trevenant just got there. I don't know what happened in the other matchups. I I think it was a Toadbats against another Night March, and then there was like the Reshiram Giratina against a Mega Manectric Ho-Oh.
which one? Oh, the Mega Miniature Ho
Yeah.
figures much because Miniature Co doesn't really have to worry about Giratina too much,
But,
especially if
oh,
they just go ho. Especially if they just go ho. Oh,
right, but it lost the match.
oh, Giratina won.
Giratina won the match,
Okay.
and it just shocked me. So my top 4 was the Giratina Reshiram.
This is the one that you tied against, correct?
This is the one I tied against. I'm pretty sure he only tied me to put me into cut
Okay.
because it's an easy match for him.
Yeah. So, walk me through this game.
Okay. Game 1, he goes. He plays like Trainer's Mail, Acrobike, whatever.
Max Elixir.
Attaches double. No Max Elixirs.
He doesn't play Max Elixir?
No Max Elixir.
Interesting.
But he goes Turbo Blaze onto Giratina, Double Dragon Giratina, pass.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a problem.
Yeah.
So I just decide to go balls out and just Lysander the Giratina
That's what you have to do.
and just go all 3 Shamans. And there was also a Fighting Fury belt on the Giratina. So
You're
I was
not
like,
want to show you that anytime soon.
so I ended up hitting like 4 compressors, a megaphone, a Dimension Valley, and a double Carlos to knock it out.
Woo! Someone was running hot.
And then he responds with a Puzzle of Time to get back the Giratina and the Double Dragon, Turbo Blaze, Double Dragon, Turbo Blaze, Switch, and Chaos Wheel. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, like you can use Restroom twice in a turn if you able
Yeah,
to
if
switch
you
into
switch
another one,
into a different Reshiram, and then, yeah.
which is why it's pretty good. When I first started playing that last year at the when it first came out, everyone's like, "You can't do that twice." No, no, I can.
You can if it's a different one.
Exactly.
And so I ended up scooping, I think, like a turn or 2 later, because I kept like 0-sicking and enhanced hammering the Double Dragon, and he just kept attaching one, and I'm like, yeah, there's nothing I can do. So game 2, I'm like, okay, how do I win the match? Well, if he doesn't have abilities, he can't win the match. So I just used Hex Maniac the first like 4 turns of the game, and just kept getting knockouts. I think I may have mixed it like once, but he missed the Chaos Wheel, so I was able to. So it actually didn't really matter. So
And
game 3. Game 3 was again just him going first. Double Dragon. He started Hoopa, which was very good for me.
bad for him.
Yeah, so he went Double Dragon. He switched Turbo Blaze, pass, and I'm like, okay, how do I win this match? I don't have the Lysander this time, so I can't just try to go kill it. So I went to Battle Compressor and go get like a 0-sick and just get the Double Dragon and pass. I prized the 0-sick.
Oh.
I prized Hex Maniac.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, what do I do now?
This is probably what most people probably would have scooped, but since you're in game 3, you kind of have to play it out. You probably should play it out anyway.
So I ended up just like Lysandering Hoopa and passing. And he switched and Chaos Wheeled. So I catchered Hoopa.
Mm-hmm.
He got some tails on Super Scoop Up. Got another switch from Puzzle of Time.
Mm-hmm.
Chaos Wheel. So I Lysandered Hoopa. This goes on. I Lysandered Hoopa, I think, like 7 or 8 times.
Stay in the active, damn it.
And he played a Puzzle of Time, and I'm not really sure why. Maybe he prized the other one. Maybe he didn't really think about it. I don't know. But he ended up going 0 for 4 on Super Scoop Up and decking out.
Ow.
He was extremely surprised when I Lysandered Hoopa and passed instead of attacking it.
I guess at that point you're just going, well, I'm not going to be able to win it this way, so
the original plan was to Lysander the Hoopa and get like 3 double colorless down and then go on a killing spree.
Nah.
but he got the switch and the Chaos Wheel to take off my double colorless. So I'm like, I can't really go that route now. So I'm just like, well, I guess I'm gonna just keep going with this Hoopa and just hope it sticks for a little bit. And eventually, he just couldn't move it.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. That's
Oh, the other
normally.
thing, yeah, the other thing I noticed, he Juniper or Sycamored like 4 fire turn 1 as well.
Oh, that's not fun.
So I'm like, okay, that's a good amount of his energy. He has the 2 on the Giratina. He has like 1 on Shaman. He's got 3 double dragons on the Giratina because he's afraid of Zero Second Enhanced Hammer.
3. Wow.
Yeah, I could have actually like killed it at some point, but I'm at this point I was like, okay, if I win by I have to win by deck out. I convinced myself of this.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
It ended up happening. I'm like, okay, cool.
I'm good.
He wasn't very happy about this.
No, I would be pretty salty too.
Yeah. Oh no, I would be too. It was
No
pretty
one
gross.
wants to. No one wants to win just because they can't get something out of the active.
Oh, especially when it's a fantastic matchup.
Yeah.
Uh,
So,
and then the other top 4 was a Trevenant and the Toadbats.
which is a
Ne-
weird matchup, I guess.
Neither of which I really wanted to see.
Oh, that just looks like a painful matchup.
Oh yeah, the entire top 4 was very anti-Night March, and I was very sad. But Toadbats ended up winning a very close series. From what I could tell, I was too busy, very concentrated on my own game to actually
Oh yeah.
figure out what was going on.
Yeah, you're too busy. You're so busy focusing on your game. Sometimes like a carnival could be happening right next to you, you wouldn't notice because you're just going.
Nope.
Because that's how it has to work sometimes.
Yeah, even the judges were like, "Hey, do you want to like go outside and breathe for a minute?" I'm like, "Yes, yes, I do."
I would too, man. I would too. So, how was the finals?
The finals was very short and sweet. It was very against me. So he's playing Toadbats.
Mm-hmm.
Game 1, I played a judge turn 1, and I played a judge turn 2, and got bench turn 3. I just drew awful.
Yeah,
Which,
when you play a judge, you're normally supposed to like draw good. Your opponent's supposed to draw bad, but sometimes the judge does not get the get that message. Same thing with
yeah.
N.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, I have like 4 Ultra Balls, I have Compressors, and VS Seekers, and Acrobikes, Trainer's Mails, Sycamore, Shaman. Like, I have so much I can draw, and I just didn't. And I'm like, okay, well, guess we're going game 2. And game 2, just the bats have always been Night March's Antichrist,
Yeah.
and that was no different. Just him Quaking Punch, and yeah, he even played a Jolteon too, which was pretty gross.
Uh,
Yeah, there was absolutely nothing I could do. I tried to make a comeback in the second game, and almost did. I was almost able to knock out the. We spent like 5 or 10 minutes just sky returning. And I just kept looping shamans. So
both
he
of you
judged.
guys?
No, just me. And
Okay.
he's quaking punching with a fury belt, which I'm like, okay, whatever. And he judged me to get me out of it. And off the 4 cards, I got a double Carlos and a shaman. So I'm just continuing sky returning, and he can't knock me out. And he ended up benching a Lugia, giving it 3 energy, and going Golbat Crobat, and able to knock me out that way to finally seal the match.
And win the game.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go down without a fight, but I knew I wasn't really in a position to actually do anything.
You were just like trying to make it difficult for him.
Yes. At that point, I'm like, okay, maybe I can pull out some sort of miracle.
You
And
never know, man. You never know. This game's weird
and
sometimes.
game 3, anything could happen. But no, I didn't get that far.
So, did you do this? Was this tournament all in one day, or was the top
It
eight
was
the
all
next
one
day?
day. It was all one day.
So after like clawing, so after that round one loss, you in winning out, you managed to get all the way in top eight, the last seed, which is
Yes.
incredible because I've talked to several people who have actually one of the people I interviewed uh, did the same, lost round one, but was against a Pokédad, and he bubbled and came 10th.
Ah,
So that was bad on him, bad for him. And
yeah.
being able to, like, by some miracle, be able to squeak you into top 8, and then beating a pretty good matchup, then beating a not pretty
A
good matchup,
horrible matchup.
horrible matchup,
Probably the worst matchup for me in the tournament.
oof, and then just losing to a lackluster finish.
Yeah,
It just came all down to, I guess you just kind of felt anticlimactic for you.
it did, but like I don't know. Like I've also seen this in sports where you go out and you beat the team that everyone's like, oh, you're gonna lose, and then you come out and you fall flat on your face. I don't understand it, but it is what it is.
It happens. So, uh, that was your tournament, but I want to ask you a couple questions now about your list, real quick.
Sure.
Uh, well, there aren't really too many things I need to ask about because it's a fairly standard Night March list at this point. You
Yeah.
play the target whistles, the catchers. You're playing 3 acrobike, which I find a little odd, but it's not. Why did you decide to go 3 acrobike and not 2 or 4?
Uh, most of my previous lists had 3, and I actually wasn't able to test at all before the event. So, in hindsight, I probably would have lowered it to 2 in favor of like a 4th trainer's mail or something.
Yeah.
But I'm like, 3 and 3 seems like good numbers.
Hmm. So, um, you're also only playing one Fighting Fury belt. Why was that?
Well, one, I can only find one.
Okay, that explains a lot right there.
I bought a theme deck to go get it. And
Do what you got to do.
really, it it doesn't really help too much, and I ended up taking the second one I had as in my theory list for a megaphone, which I felt would be better
Hmm.
to take out everyone else's Fighting Fury belts. But I felt like I was just going to go so quickly that the extra HP probably wouldn't come in handy. But having it still is a good thing because, of course, Joltik having 30 HP is ridiculous. So having 70 HP is absolutely much better and really helps with Eviltall. But I'm like, okay, if most of my matchups are Night March, then I don't really need a second Fighting Fairy belt.
Nah. But did you? Actually, I'm gonna ask you about that later. Also, I'm also noticing you're not playing teammates. Any reason for that? Just didn't have the room.
My friends all convinced me to put teammates in, and I've never I don't understand it. I don't really understand why. Like, yeah, you can go get double colorless, you can go get your puzzle of times, whatever you need to win the game the next turn, but I feel like with compressor and shaman, you go through enough of your deck to where you will draw what you need when you actually need it.
Ah,
And that was true for probably like 95% of the day.
yeah. I just hear a lot of people like how like the teammates just so you can get like a Night Marcher into DC or a Hex or like something a supporter for next turn DC or a catcher in DC. That's what I
Yeah,
hear. Or like the two puzzle time to get something that was in your discard pile.
yeah. Like the theory behind it's cool, but I'm just like, I feel like that space could just be better used, and just you go through enough of your deck to where you will probably draw everything you need anyway.
Hmm.
And most of my turn ones were just like, I'm through to like 20, 25 cards now. So one more Sycamore, and I'm probably okay. But yeah, I never actually felt the need for it.
Okay, that's fair. Um, so any changes you wish you made or did not make or going into this tournament?
Like I said, taking the acro bike for probably a trainer's mail, but everything else just seemed pretty solid. I love the enhanced hammer. It kept popping up at very key moments, and that was cool. I could puzzle a time it back, which was fucking hilarious. Puzzle of Time is such a stupid card. It lets me play
Stupid.
That's the thing. I could also Puzzle of Time the Fury Belt if I really needed a second one.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, I could play one ofs. I do like Puzzle Time for this. I can play my one ofs, and if I need them a second time, I can just get them back. That is something I do enjoy, because you're taking some stuff out to make room for the Puzzle of Time,
Yeah.
so you won't have the card counts you want. So you're like, okay, what cards aren't going to be truly necessary? Like, okay, target whistle, that's going to be necessary. Catcher, again, necessary. I want 2 Lysander because I want to kill shamans. So I'm like, okay, well, we got the Fury Belt. I decided to go 1-1 on the 0-second Enhanced Hammer because, obviously, Toad. But yeah, I think the only thing I would change is the Acrobike for a Trainer's Mail. Everything else seemed really nice.
So, well, one final question. How many championship points do you have going into this tournament, and how many championship points do you have for now?
I had 155 going into the tournament, so now I'm at 245.
Yep, because you get you get 90 points. I thought you got 80.
Nope, 90.
Nice. So the only difference between first and second is a league challenge. Okay, good to
Yeah.
know.
Difference between first and second is 10 points, the buy at Nationals, $300, and the trophy.
Oh yeah, good point. The
And of course,
$300
the
is the
mat changed from finalist to champion.
yeah. But still having that finalist map and a couple cool things is pretty nice.
Oh, absolutely. I love it.
All right. So, do you feel comfortable making your world's invite at this point?
Unfortunately, because of work, I won't be able to attend any more events, which is very depressing. So no, I will not be able to get to my World's Invite. If I could go to regionals and nationals, yes, I would feel very comfortable because I can get to 295 points after league challenges. So I would need 5 points from somewhere. But unfortunately, because I didn't win the event, I will not be able to make worlds.
If you won the event,
I could max out league challenges and get to 305 points.
so you had a lot on the line in that
Oh,
final match.
I had so much on the line,
Oh,
and it all just came crashing down.
because 200, like the amount of championship points you have is pretty good, and like most people would feel comfortable, but apparently, unfortunately, you won't
Eh,
be able to do it, which is very sad to hear.
it is. Well, life gets in the way sometimes. There's not much you can do about it.
Stupid life getting into my hobby of playing a children's card game.
Exactly. How dare I need to make money and actually survive?
I could just live off bread. What are you talking about? No, but thank you. I feel bad that you can't make worlds, but thank you for showing us this list. You seemed like you had a lot of fun with
Oh, it
this
was a
list, with
blast.
this deck, and how you had fun at the event. And thank you
Absolutely.
for sharing this list, and thank you for doing an interview with me.
Oh, thank you for having me.
No problem. And thank you for everyone who's tuned in. Please like, subscribe, and all that silly stuff. I should be doing more interviews in the future, and not just for the states. I will also be probably trying to do the regionals weekend as well as nationals. So please stay tuned to my channel for that, and I also do other videos as well. So please stick around for that as well. And I'm just rambling at this point. I'm Sammy15, the Dragon Timmy here. Hope you guys like today's video. Please like, subscribe, all that silly stuff. Leave a comment below. Do everything. I'll do all this fun stuff. And I shall see you guys, hopefully, next time.